Chicago, 2011. A cop is murdered. Police and prosecutors swear they have the trigger man. He swears he didn't do it. How far will each side go to prove they're right?
Like it's just one bombshell after another, where you're like, what?
The story of a PlayStation, a brain-eating amoeba, and the relentless pursuit of justice. Off Duty, out now. Listen wherever you get your podcasts.
This message comes from Jackson. Taxes aren't something you can only think about once a year. With investments, planning for tax day is year-round. Fortunately, Jackson offers tax-efficient products. Visit jackson.com for more information on how our products can make your tax bill a little bit less painful. Jackson is short for Jackson Financial Incorporated, Jackson National Life Insurance Company, Lansing, Michigan, and Jackson National Life Insurance Company of New York, Purchase, New York.
Howdy, howdy, ho, and welcome to Fantasy Fan Fellas. I'm Hayden, producer of the Fantasy Fangirls podcast and your resident lover of all things Sanderson.
And I'm Steven, your bookish internet goofball, but you can call me the Smash Daddy.
And we are currently deep diving Brandon Sanderson's fantasy epic, Mistborn. But here's the catch. Steven here has not read Mistborn before.
That's right, hey. So each week, you'll get my unfiltered, raw reactions to every single chapter.
And along the way, we'll do character deep dives, magic explainers, and Steven will even try to guess what's next. Spoiler alert, he'll be wrong.
Newsflash, I'm never wrong. Episodes come out every Wednesday, and you can find Fantasy Fan Fellas wherever you get your podcasts.
Hello and welcome back to the Psycholegal Pop Podcast. This is just Tess because I am introing part 2 of our Sister Wives Rewind for this week. So if you have not heard part 1, it should be there in your feed. The part 1, we focused on Sister Wives Season 9, Episode 11, which is A Boy or a Girl. And so this episode, we are talking about Episode 12, Meri Catfished. Thanks so much for being here, and thanks for listening. Take care. Bye. So now, episode 12, Meri Catfished.
Now, I had a question here. This is my first thing I wrote down. Because they show people in the morning getting up and getting ready. Where do you think Caleb and Michelle slept? Do you think they slept with, you think Logan and Michelle slept together?
No. I think that they slept. I think the girls slept with the girls and the boys slept with the boys. Because then nothing could possibly happen.
Oh, no.
So stupid.
They'd never run into each other in the middle of the night.
Yeah. Well, when I worked at the drug and alcohol place, this was the funniest thing. And I always felt like, God, why didn't anyone, no one ever thought of this before was, a big part of being in treatment is you cannot, know building relationships with people. Mm-hmm. But it was amazing, but you would hear things about I caught these two girls lying in bed together. And it was always kind of like, oh, they're just gal pals. And I'm like, you guys, they're not.
Yeah. Gal
but
pals
it's
who barely know each other, just happened to meet up here at this rehab and now they're best friends.
They're besties. Now people get close fast because it's like summer camp. You're together all the time. So I can see how people can get close fast. And I can see that. But I was just like, but we're not, but if it was a man and a woman, we would automatically go there. And I'm just like, this is just, but it's just so funny, this very conservative family that's like, well, let's separate everybody by gender. And then that way, no hanky-panky
then nothing
can
will happen. Yeah.
Nothing will happen. It's like, maybe, maybe not. But no, there is no way that they let either of them sleep in the same bed. No way.
Okay. You're right.
I mean, I've known people where the couple would be in their 30s, but they weren't married. And they went to visit somebody's family and the family's like, you're not married. You're sleeping in separate rooms. I mean, obviously the two people are living together. Or,
right.
They're in their 30s for Christ's sake.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But again, that's very, very conservative.
Very conservative.
So, yeah.
Okay. Well, then these crazy kids go on a double date.
Yes. Kody, first we have Kody. This is the best vacation. He's just all excited. He's in Alaska. He's in the outdoors. He's with Caleb.
He's with Caleb. He seems to love more than his own son. Kody wanted to go on that date so bad. He probably tried to come and The producers were like, no.
He was angling the whole time for him and Caleb to have alone time. He's like, I think we should go on this fishing trip, just the two of us. Just the two of us, don't you think?
Just the two of us on this boat all day.
They're like, no, we only have a couple camera crews. We cannot have the whole camera crew following the two of you. It's okay. We'll be alone. We don't need a camera crew.
We'll self-film.
Yes. So, but I thought this was interesting where Logan talks about how, which we've never really heard him talk about this, which is, it's hard to date people because that, women assume that because he was in plural family, that this is what he wants. And that's what Michelle said too. She was kind of like, I didn't think he was serious. I didn't want to be serious with him because I assumed that that's what he would want. So anywho, it was like, And I know Maddie mentions like she dated some guy in high school who assumed that she would be okay with him dating other women, which is so ridiculous. I'm like, dude, that guy was just looking for an excuse. Like,
he was just testing the boundaries there.
Yeah. Going, will she put up with this? Oh no, she won't. Crap.
Yeah.
But Michelle likes Kody. She thinks he's like a big kid.
Well, she said at first she was intimidated by him, but she realized he's harmless. And Caleb said, well, I'm not intimidated by him.
Because Caleb knows his number.
He had to lay that down.
Yeah.
And then isn't this where they have the older kids on the couch again and they're talking about like the pros and cons of a plural family?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, and they're not wrong. I mean, I'm sure it is. And the best part about it is probably all the moms, all the supports, all the people, and the fact that depending on how you feel and what you needed, you had someone to go to. And that's rare. And the one thing that's different is that, right, once upon a time, I don't know what the stat is, what year it is, but back in like, if you met and married someone back in the 40s or 50s, there was a very high probability. It was like something like 80% chance that you grew up around them. That was what communities, that's what communities were, was like everybody knew each other. You grew up with these people. This was the family. So we used to have these communities where people could go to anybody, the aunt or the grandmother, whomever. And I do think that's one part of our world that we live in today. People talk about how lonely and isolated they are. Yeah, people need they should be, they need their support and that kind of support. So it is really positive in that way. But
and you can also see how much they really like each other. And even to this day, none of the siblings are estranged from the sibling group. They're all, still, I mean, certain people are closer than others, but it's not like anybody is estranged or on the outs with someone.
Well, even with Robyn, and even with Robyn coming in and being like, what she's been saying recently of no one ever accepted me and my kids. Again, all the kids were like, wait, to them, that felt very insulting to hear that because they didn't feel that at all. They felt like these were their siblings. They've been nothing but welcoming. Always. Yeah.
And even through all this other stuff, the Browns still speak kindly and say they would like to have a relationship with Robyn's kids, but Robyn won't let them. They're not safe.
Yeah. Yeah. So. And you know why? It's because Daddy Logan leads them. It's because Daddy Logan is the center of this family.
He is.
Of the children.
I don't know what this family would be without him. I don't want to even think about it.
They are so lucky they got Aspen and Logan as the first two. They're so lucky. And maybe that role put them into this place, but those two have the temperaments for this. Like they really do. Much more than someone else. I mean, think about someone else who had been born, if someone else was born first.
Well, birth order shapes a lot of who you are. So, like no matter who was born first, they would have more tendency to be more of a leader. That's because that's just kind of that whole birth order dynamic,
Oh, yeah, I know. Presidents are always firstborns, comedians are always the youngest.
The youngest, yeah.
Oh, I wonder if I would be more serious.
Especially in big families. I know some people who are like at the tail end in big families, and they're like, nobody cared about me. No one even brushed my hair.
Yeah.
It was just kind of like.
And that's different when there's only like two of us. Because I really did not feel like I was neglected by any means. But I guess when I came along, I think our parents were at a point where like, we got to let go. You know, maybe they both felt like we got to let go. And because we don't have as much control.
Yeah. When you have your first baby, you're so, you just don't know what to expect, and it's scary. And so, then after that, like, okay, nothing, it's all going to be okay. And whatnot.
But anyway, we don't have time for that because Kody and Janelle are taking the older kids fishing.
Yes. And deep sea fishing on the ocean.
Yes. So they're going deep sea fishing. And then Meri, Christine, and Robyn are all taking the younger kids dog sledding. And is this where we meet Nicholas Pettit?
Yes. Nick,
this guy.
He lives with the dogs out in the woods.
Yeah, he lives with these dogs all summer long. He's like, that's my, he's basically, if you're wondering if I live in that tent, I do.
Yeah.
And the other thing too is I guess he has to eat every meal in town because he can't have food.
Mm-hmm.
He cannot have any food out there. And that's the other thing too. It's like, wait, you can't even have a late night snack. Like, if you get a little hungry, you probably can't even have like a bag of nuts in your tent, right?
Well, maybe if you put it in a sealed container, because I know like at Yosemite, they have those bear boxes that they don't want you to have a lot of food out there. But if you do, you have to put it in these bear boxes where the bears can't get in. But it just attracts bears. And you don't want bears around these dogs. And, that could be a disaster.
Yeah. Well,
but this was cute, like with all the little puppies and the kids holding the puppies. It was
and the little houses, each of them had houses.
And
I just want to say, listen, do not complain about my dogs. They're slightly better behaved than these, right? I mean, I was like, these dogs are
professional dogs.
I don't know, but they seemed crazy. They seemed like they were running around. I mean, yes, they organized and then went there. Did you think I didn't feel like they were under voice command.
Oh, they were. And they were talking about how that Nick, he doesn't even have to really yell at them. He gives them these very subtle kind of, it's almost like he makes a noise. One noise means go left and the other ones go right. I don't know. I mean, these dogs, they won the Iditarod. I mean, these are...
Yeah, okay.
These are award-winning dogs. I don't know if your dogs have ever won anything.
All right,
Did they even graduate from obedience school?
Well, Biscuit couldn't go because he was we got him during COVID. So, yeah, but Jabba did graduate. But everyone graduates. Everyone graduates. Trust me.
Everyone gets a certificate.
Yes. Just for showing up and paying the money that you have to pay. All right. So, but I thought all of that, it looked like that was a lot of fun, like for the kids to get on the sleds and they're going around and doing that. But we don't have any more time for this because they're on the boat and they're leaving in 10 minutes and Caleb hasn't caught anything yet.
Oh,
and
no.
Cody's so upset.
Cody's worried. He doesn't want Caleb to get his feelings hurt.
He doesn't care about anyone else in that family. Like my children, my wife, anybody. No. Caleb hasn't caught anything. But thank God he catches a huge fish. He catches the biggest fish of the day.
Oh, thank goodness.
Yes. So, yeah. And then I guess after that, what is this? The next scene that I have is when Caleb.
This is it. Yeah.
It's happening, right?
This is the scene.
So I guess because I was wondering about the fish that they caught. So I guess then when you go on one of those trips, they take all your fish and then they ship it back to your house.
Yeah, because Janelle said that it had already been like cleaned and cut up and frozen. So yeah, they do all that for you and then they ship it to your home and it's there when you get there.
That's nice. See, I would do stuff like that if I knew that was going to happen. The whole time I kept thinking, like, what do you guys are going to have to cook these fishes, right? I mean, what are you going to do? You can't take that on the plane home.
No.
So anyway, this is it. It's very exciting. Kody's outside and Caleb comes out and he says, do you mind if I talk to your dad by himself? And you could see the look on Kody's face. Cody was brimming with excitement. He had this smile on his face.
He was trying to be cool. He was really trying to be cool, but he could not. No. He could not stop smiling. He was bursting.
Yes.
Bursting.
He had been waiting for this. He cannot believe it's happening.
I was kind of surprised that Caleb agreed to do this on camera.
I think because Maddie asked him.
Okay. I really love her.
Yeah. And I think, and I do. And I think, again, even if it's not overtly said, I think there is a covert message in all of this for all of these kids, which is the show has provided us with a lifestyle that we could not have. You know, you like this, you like that, got to get on board. And I think Maddie long ago was like, I don't mind it. I'll get on board. And so I think that's what she said to Caleb, like, listen, we're going to be on, it's going to happen this way. Sorry. If you want me, this is how it's going to be. And I think he just was, because obviously he really likes her. I mean, this is what he says. He said, I was in my life, I'm looking around him. He's 29, he's almost 30. He's like asking himself these questions about, I'm sure all of his friends are getting married. And I think he was like, what I realized I was missing my soulmate. And so I'm sure if he feels like she's his soulmate, he's willing to do what he needs to do.
True.
So yeah. And this is where he asks for permission. Does he say to marry her or ask her hand in marriage? Can't remember what the exact line was.
I think he must have said marriage because I wrote down that Kody said, I'm not sure if he said this in the confessional or to Caleb's face, but he says, when you are married, I turn her over to you.
Yes, I clocked that.
It's very dramatic.
Yeah, when the two of you marry, I turn her over to you. And I was like, F you, turn her over?
Like she's a possession that, you turn over responsibility for.
Yeah, and that you currently, quote unquote, own her today.
Right,
like she's a legal adult now. She doesn't even live with you. So you're going to turn her over to Caleb. It was gross.
Yeah, I didn't like that.
No.
But he did say that the reason why he respects Caleb so much is because when his brother died, he took responsibility for Curtis's widow, his sister, and their children. And he really stepped up. And, so I think that's admirable. Obviously, he was, very mature about it. What can you... Everyone loves Caleb.
Is this when Caleb says that... Is this when Kody says that Caleb shows the essence of manhood? Because I wrote that down.
Yeah, probably.
Essence of manhood. I was like, only Kody. Only Kody comes up with this stuff.
The essence of manhood.
Yeah. Oh, and then Kody talks about how marriage is one of the hardest things that you're going to do. This whole thing about, you need to honor what I've learned is you need to honor your love, and being in love is not enough to maintain a marriage and blah, 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 blah. I'm like, oh, okay, Kody.
Yeah. We don't need to hear marriage advice from you, Kody. let's just leave it at that. Let's move on. Oh
yeah. So, and then this is where their neighbor gives them a big salmon to cook. And Robyn pukes.
Yeah, I don't blame her. That would make me puke if I was pregnant, and maybe even not pregnant. I mean, this is like a fresh,
it looked very slimy,
pungent salmon, and they've got it there in the kitchen, just like dripping all over all their taco salad. I know
that's the other thing. Robyn's like, I'm making taco salads. She's like, fish has no part in my taco salad.
No. So, yeah, it was. And when she went to the bathroom to throw up, Dayton runs after her and he's like, "Are you okay, Mom?" And he's like, "Just relax." He was being you can tell this is not his first rodeo. And
it was Dayton and Aurora.
Yeah. That was sweet.
Yeah.
That's sweet.
Yeah. But I do
redeeming things.
I know. And I'm not saying anything about Aurora or Dayton. I think it's very sweet of them. But I do wonder if they've been put in this role of you need to go check on your mom.
Right.
You know, like
she's delicate.
Yeah, that kind of thing. So Caleb's leaving in the morning and oh God, Kody's like, you got to say your goodbyes now. You know, because you can't say goodbye in the morning. They're going to get up at 4 a.m. I'm not getting up at 4 a.m., which kind of surprised me that he wasn't willing to get up and take Caleb to the airport. But Janelle was, of course. Janelle and Maddie are going to get up and take him off. So, yes.
Yeah. So
this is the big. So now let's cut to this big scene that happens at the end.
Ay. So it's their last night and they're going to Jack Sprat for dinner. Mm-hmm. And, you know, they're talking about how this has been the best family vacation ever. And so they're eating, you know, they're kind of making small talk, ordering some food. Robyn is, you know, she is so focused on this butternut squash soup that she's eating. She just, you know, just slurping her soup. She
is pregnant.
Yes, she's loving the soup.
She's hungry. Yeah.
And then Meri says that she needs to talk.
Yes. Yes.
And then she just kind of starts rambling about how she's been struggling with stuff lately. You know, Leon leaving for college really threw her for a loop because she's doing this empty nesting alone.
Yeah, she's absolutely right.
Yeah,
no one even bothered to even, you know, Robyn, with all of your observations. See, this is one of the things about Robyn that really does tell me, like she's observing. But so you're aware of this, Robyn,
right?
Kody at least is ignorant. Because he's too busy falling in love with you. And Janelle's in her own place and Christine's losing her mind, you know, because Kody doesn't love her. But you're the one that you have the secure relationship and you're supposed to be quote unquote her bestie here. And you never thought to say anything to Kody about the fact that like this is a unique situation. Anyway.
Yeah. And you know what? I think Christine and even Janelle, they did notice stuff about Meri because they did talk after Meri spills her guts. They talk about how they have noticed that she's been lost for a long time. She's been detached. She's on her phone a lot. Mm-hmm. So they've noticed it. Everyone but Kody, of course. And, you know, then Meri, it gets like even darker. You know, she says that she's going to be doing something. She doesn't know what. Her house is like so quiet and lonely. She's alone so much of the time.
Yeah, that was heartbreaking. She turns on music and then she's like, but I'm alone so much of the time, which again tells us, you know, even though she was isolating herself from the family, there was a period of time that maybe she wasn't and nobody was.
Yeah, she says, no one comes over to my house. And remember Cody's whole big line about how no one in this family will ever be lonely, you know, because we have this big family.
Yeah.
And I don't think anyone's really checking in on her. And then, so she's telling the family that, you know, she's presenting it different to them than she does in her confessional.
Yes. And that's why I was very confused this whole time.
Confusing.
I'm like, are they cutting this stuff out? But they all look so confused that I was like, oh no, she's talking very cryptically to them.
She hasn't told them about the catfish. And I think, is this the way she breaks it to them? Is this how they find out? I was like watching this episode, or after this episode, they were forced to, because she's making it sound to the family, she's making it sound like she needs to go find herself, because she says, don't be surprised if one day I just leave, or, and they're thinking, oh, okay, yeah, like to go off and find yourself. And okay, yeah, that's reasonable. And, we're here for you. And, when you come back, and they're still very confused. Like, what is she talking about? Kody is completely confused because he has never even noticed. And he doesn't notice anything about Meri. He pays no attention to her.
Well, did you notice this entire scene? And again, this could be cut out. But Kody does not ask her one question. No. We have Robyn coming in, Christine, Janelle, because they're all very concerned. They're all like, well, what does this mean? And what do you need? All of those things. Cody says nothing. He's just staring at her the whole time.
Yeah. He's totally confused. But then she starts saying in the confessional, she starts talking about how because she was so lonely, she started making friends on social media, started talking to this one person. He was saying everything that she wanted to hear.
Made her trust him right away. And they laughed. He made her laugh. No one was making her laugh.
Yeah. And, but she did also say, and also this person expressed love and attraction to her.
Again, something that Kody has not expressed in a long, long time.
That felt weird. That felt good. But then she said it started to get weird. And she actually said that she noticed some things very early on talking to this person. But she still, she was so overwhelmed by all this other talk that she kind of ignored that.
Can I ask you a question? So what do you think? Because one of the things that she does point out here is, she said, he was speaking to me about, attraction and love, and it was very flattering. And then she makes a comment of like, but, I felt weird about that, and I knew that wasn't right. So I then had to say no to him, but he kept pushing the issue. Do you think that she honored her marriage, or in that moment, you think she did? Yeah. Or do you think that maybe she did explore a little bit of like, okay, so should we meet? So what would this look like? Versus, no, I can't possibly do this. We can meet as friends. I'm wondering if she did entertain a little bit. Maybe not necessarily to run off and have an affair, but I think that she would, I don't know. I feel like she was willing to meet.
Yeah, no, she wanted to meet, and that was one of the red flags in the beginning, that, he wouldn't meet her, and there were cracks in the story. And she says this was within the first week of talking, but she said she chose to ignore it because she enjoyed talking to someone. And then she doesn't really talk about how it unraveled or how she found out. I mean, she does say that she found out, she thought she was talking to a man. But it turns out that she was talking to a woman. And then she was pulling away from the family because she was trying to protect them. Because I think this person was starting to make threats to her, saying that she, obviously she knew who Meri Brown was.
Yes.
Knew what she looked like, where she lived, all this stuff, knew her family. And, Meri realized she put her family in jeopardy. And that's why she was crying, saying like, they don't know what I've done and what I've brought into this family. Yeah. And then then she, going back to when she's talking to everybody else at the table, again, she's just talking, like saying, well, maybe I'll go back to school. Maybe a week away alone on a camping trip. And then Janelle says, but you must be back by Thanksgiving. And Robyn says, if Meri doesn't want to do this anymore, we'll support you. What does that mean? Like, what, doesn't want to be in the family anymore?
I don't know. Psych Legal Pop. We'll be back after these messages.
This message comes from Jackson. Taxes aren't something you can only think about once a year. With investments, planning for tax day is year-round. Fortunately, Jackson offers tax-efficient products. Visit Jackson.com for more information on how our products can make your tax bill a little bit less painful. Jackson is short for Jackson Financial Incorporated, Jackson National Life Insurance Company, Lansing, Michigan, and Jackson National Life Insurance Company of New York, Purchase, New York.
Chicago, 2011. A cop is murdered. Police and prosecutors swear they have the trigger man. He swears he didn't do it. How far will each side go to prove they're right?
Like it's just one bombshell after another, where you're like, what?
The story of a PlayStation, a brain-eating amoeba, and the relentless pursuit of justice. Off Duty, out now. Listen wherever you get your podcasts.
Well, before that, did you clock the whole thing with Christine? Because Christine is kind of a little bit more direct, not in that moment, but in a confessional about like, hey, Leon's been gone for 2 years now.
Mm-hmm.
So this is not like Leon just left 6 months ago. Leon's been gone for 2 years. Christine keeps saying, I just want her to try something different. She needs to stop being scared and come on. And so that makes me wonder if maybe some of the resentment that the family feels a little bit was maybe it wasn't necessarily Kody, but maybe Christine. I could see Christine being thoughtful about this. And I don't know so much Janelle, maybe Robyn too. I don't know. Like, I think maybe they said something to her and said, hey, Meri, what are you going to do now? Like, why don't you go back to school? Why don't you do this? I'm sure Meri has been talking in circles about this to them. And I'm sure Christine at this point, she doesn't know about the catfishing maybe, but she's at this point of like, yeah, I've been talking to her about this for 2 years. Like, what are we doing here? Just do it already. And I think that's her frustration of,
yeah.
And then why are you talking about it all so say the word for me. Thank you. Yeah.
Yeah. Because we don't know how long into Leon being gone she started doing this. I mean, obviously I don't think it's been the whole 2 years that she's, well, I don't know. I feel for Meri.
This is really painful.
Position to be in, and feeling lonely when you have your whole family, like just living right next door to you like that. And yeah, I mean, how much were people really trying to include Meri? We know Kody was completely ignoring her.
And listen, Janelle and Christine and Robyn all have young kids. They all have little kids. And listen, and I can't imagine what it's like to have 6, but you got to give Robyn, Robyn does have 3 kids and 4 kids and she's pregnant. It's, their lives are busy. And I bet you anything that Meri probably did not do a very good job of saying, hey, I'm lonely. You need to invite me to things, or, hey, I need this, or, hey, I need that.
Can I just come over? And talk?
Yeah. But this whole thing is really, it's hard. It's hard to listen to because you really do feel her pain. And I wonder if she had been talking to people on social media for a while, like friendly, and nothing like this had ever happened. And then this person kind of comes out of the woodwork. But I've always wondered, how long did they talk for? How long from the time that they started talking and were talking more and more to the time in which Meri figures out it's a woman?
I think it was at least a few months.
So it's a couple months. Okay.
Yeah.
I could never figure out if it was the way she's describing it seems like weeks, but I used to think it was like much longer.
I think it was at least a couple months. And I know there were times where the big thing was about meeting. Obviously it always is in these catfish situations, right? So I think there were times when they were supposed to meet and then at the last minute they didn't. And that's where the woman, Jackie Overton, who was actually pretending to be this man, the catfish person, which is her, would talk about this person, Jackie Overton, as in the third person. And it was like his assistant or his friend or something. And there was a time where they were supposed to meet at Disneyland or something. And of course, Samuel Jacob Cooper doesn't show up, but Jackie Overton shows up and says, oh, he couldn't make it, or I could have the facts of that wrong. But it was a lot of this, the bait of, okay, now we're going to meet. And then it gets pulled away. Now we're going to meet and it gets pulled away. And so, that went on for a while. And so, yeah, it's really messed up, but it sounds like that they were making threats. And now she's like, oh my God, I've drugged my family into this. And, she had to come clean in order to protect her family. And yeah. And again, Kody makes it all about him. He says, it's what she's saying. Sounds like she's leaving, and he's afraid to ask. He thinks that it's just that Meri doesn't want to be married to him anymore.
Of course.
Yeah. But she wants the family, but she doesn't want to be married to him. And it's like, no, she still wants to be married to you. And she's still going to try to be for the next, I don't know, there's 5-6 more years or whatever it is.
Yeah. Well, he says this, he's worried Meri is going to say, this is you.
Yeah.
Because maybe you kind of know that you are causing, that you are part of this problem, that you aren't paying enough attention to her, that you aren't. Because, aren't you still going over there every fourth night? I mean, are you?
Oh, God, no.
So, I mean, that makes you, so there's also that part of it too, which is that you obviously aren't even clocking any of this stuff that's going on, because you would have if you had gone over there every fourth night.
No, because remember, Meri had a list of stuff and she hadn't completed it. And
that's right.
He wasn't going to be going over there spending the night until she completed the list,
This is the moment in which, and I understand hindsight's 20/20, but all I could keep thinking was, God, what if Meri had used this as an opportunity to say, you know what? I do love this family and I love my new home, but I'm not going to be married to this man anymore. Like, I want to be out of this.
And I'm going to live my own life.
And I'm going to live my own life. Because this could have been a perfect situation for her. She could start dating someone new.
Yeah.
She could have the house. She's there. She could be used in different ways for the family, still go to the things. And I think that travel with this person, I think, I kept thinking like, God, this would have been so good. And then you wouldn't have had to move to Flagstaff. You're like, me and Bob are staying here in Vegas. Right. You sell the other houses.
Well, that's the thing. Their culture says that, even when your kids leave, you still have to stay and help the younger, families. But it's like, but why? She should have been able to just, she didn't have anything in common with, she was barely friends with these people already.
Yeah.
She didn't have anything in common. She was in a completely different place in her life. I don't want to hang around people at my age that have a bunch of young kids.
Oh, God, no.
No.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't want to watch their kids. I don't want to, seriously, I don't want to do stuff with their kids. So why should, they want her to just fit into their agenda and their lives and use her for her money. And, when it's convenient for them. But no, she should have been able to just live her life.
Well,
just live.
I also wonder at this point, right? We already, as we're reading in Christine's book, we already, we know that Christine has already kind of said, we cannot be, you've got to be out of my life. So I'm wondering if after the McKelty incident at the grocery store, if that's happened. So Christine's already kind of put up a wall with Meri. So I don't think, nobody's running off to jobs anymore in the way they used to be. So I think Christine's home. So Christine doesn't need any help, nor does she want the help. Robyn's got babysitters, as we all know.
And she has Kody helping her.
Yeah, and Kody. And, Janelle's Miss Independent. And, God, her youngest Savannah's making lists. Savannah's probably got a part-time job at this point. So there's a little bit.
Janelle and Meri never liked each other.
Yeah, that too. So the other part of it too is it's not like anyone was dropping it's not like she was getting invitations. No one was dropping their kids off. No one wanted to drop their kids off. Remember, she wanted to take Saul away for the night. They wouldn't let her do that. So then what is her place?
Right.
What is her place at all? But they can cash her checks. They love that LuLaRoe money.
Oh, they love. Yeah, and they needed her money to move to Flagstaff.
Yeah.
She was on the podcast, the TJ and Amy, the one.
Yeah, I saw that. I was thinking about watching it, but I keep going back and forth because Meri never spills anything. So it's like, am I going to get any information? The only thing I saw was like, no, she's not going to read Christine's book. And it's like, I didn't think you would anyway.
Yeah. Well, I listened to part of the podcast. It's like 2 parts. I think I listened to the first part. And she did talk about dating and how it was kind of hard because sometimes people did know who she was and that felt weird. They wouldn't say anything at first. And then sometimes people wouldn't know who she was and then they would find out and then they'd be like, I can't. Like, I don't want to be part of that. So I feel for her.
I do.
That must be really hard. And she did say that there have been people who wanted to date her just for the fame and the money. And
I think that was that guy. Remember what? Amos.
Yeah.
That was Amos, maybe.
So, she's trying. She's out there. And, I hope she finds someone. I don't know. It was so clear, that they don't watch the show. They don't know shit about her. They just, someone booked Meri on their show because they're asking like, these dumb questions. And so it's not like a great interview, but I felt like she was being, genuine and forthright and answering questions. I mean, but she's not going to go on there and dish about Christine. She's like, I don't, just not going to do that.
Well, what I wonder too is, energetically, right? I think that energetically, I don't think Meri's ready for a relationship. And I think this is why she keeps running into these problems or into these situations because she seems very closed off. I mean, Christine was just open. And ready for anyone to walk through. And knowing how low, I mean, maybe Meri just has much higher standards, but because Christine was just really looking for someone who would pay attention to her. And to me, I feel like, isn't that like what you're looking for too, Meri? I mean, how great does this guy have to be?
Right. That's the thing. I think, I love David. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with David.
David's great.
But, Christine she probably lowered her expectations to exactly what you said. I just want someone who pays attention to me, who loves me, who thinks I'm sexy, whatever. And she happened to luck out to get a guy who is all that. Plus he's got a job. He's got his own company. He's a family man. I mean, but it doesn't have to check all these boxes necessarily. But the most important box to check is just to find someone who just thinks that you're great. And, and so, maybe Meri is looking for too many things. And I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
And energetically, she's still closed off.
Yes.
And then she'll start talking about her gobbledygook pseudo-psychology talk.
Oh, is she still doing the worthy up thing? Is that still happening? Was that what she was promoting on the show? Why was she booked on their show anyway?
I'm not quite sure. I'm not, because of the season.
Oh, got it.
I guess the season premiere. Yeah. So TJ says to her, oh, so like how many seasons is this? And she's like, well, we've had 19 seasons. And he's like, oh, have you been on every season? And she's like, oh yeah. Some of his questions were so dumb. I'm just like, how do these two numbnuts have a podcast?
What drives me crazy too is someone is producing your podcast. Someone is doing it. You have a producer or some intern that they're paying nothing to who has spent the time to write all of this stuff down. It was probably in a one sheet. TJ, all you had to do was read the one sheet. That's it. And maybe watch an episode or two. The episodes are 22 minutes in the beginning.
I know.
So, dear God, you two are that shows me that you do no prep, zero prep at all, even though it's all done for you.
Yeah.
Ugh, that's gross.
All right. Well, that's a wrap on.
Yeah. Well, we see the last scene where everybody's having dinner that final night or whatever. And Kody gets up and, they're in two different tables. And it's so funny because he's making this speech and he's acting like this host, to everyone. He's like, well, thank you so much for being here and all this. I'm like, dude, you did not pay for this. You didn't do any of this. Like he's acting, or that he's the host of a restaurant. Like he's not sitting anywhere. He's just wandering around. And then his big conclusion to the Meri stuff is, well, I guess we just need to be in a prayerful state. Prayerful state, whatever that means, which again means reflection. But when it's prayerful, you don't really have to take full accountability for it, apparently.
You just wait for
someone to tell you what to think.
From God.
Yeah.
Okay.
Even though the answer from God is from your own head, you know.
Well, next week we will be back with episode 1 of season 20.
I know. Very excited.
I'm not sure if it's going to be if we're going to be releasing on Monday or Tuesday. I don't know if we have. Do we have screeners?
Well, I'm pretty sure we're good for Sister Wives, so I think we'll be able to do Mondays.
Okay.
I think it's the other shows that we're struggling with, but yeah, we're good with that. And if you are a fan of Sister Wives and you're here and you say, I need more Sister Wives and more of these sisters talking about Sister Wives, come to our Patreon. We are covering Christine's book. Every week we put out a new episode on Sunday. We're just taking it as we come. We usually make it through 3 to 4 very short chapters. At a time,
moving very slowly.
We are
moving more bang for your buck.
Yes, exactly. So that is now only available on Patreon. Our continued coverage at the $8 level. So go check us out. And there's lots of other things there. You get a weekly bonus. You get a true crime. This month we're recording. We're talking about the Adelson family: Donna Adelson, Charlie Adelson, that Dan Markell, that murder in Florida. We also do an Ask Us Anything. So you can ask us questions about psychology and therapy or mental health or law, legal issues, or anything else that we can talk about or you want our opinions on. So there's a lot of great stuff over there. There's other ways to follow us. If you are a fan of ours and you haven't already, if you could please go and give us a 5-star rating and review on Apple, Spotify, wherever you're listening, that would be so helpful. It helps people find our show. What else? You can follow us on social media. We're on YouTube. Hi, come over here and subscribe. And what else?
Subscribe to the podcast, share an episode of the podcast with a friend who also loves Sister Wives. We also have a whole back catalog of documentaries. We've been doing this for 3 years. So we have a lot of content.
Yes.
Just, even on the free feed, we have tons of docs, and we cover Sister Wives, Love is Blind. And just like that, nobody liked. But we liked
Well, you know what? In the true psycholegal pop fashion, today is actually, as we're recording this is our 3-year anniversary.
And we forgot.
We forgot. We did not say anything about any of it. We forgot.
Yeah, our social media manager, Peggy, she remembered.
Yeah, she's on it.
She designed this logo, and she's like, what do you think of this? And I'm like, oh, yeah, that's right. It's our 3-year anniversary. So thank you for everyone who has supported us over the last 3 years. And
yes.
It's very exciting. Who knew we would take this Sister Wives thing this far?
Oh, I know. 3 years, crazy. Did you think we would make it these 3 years?
I don't know. I don't know what I thought when we started or where I thought it was going to go. I kind of had no expectations. So
yeah, same here.
Yeah.
And look at us now. Okay. I think that's it. Thank you so much, everyone. Thanks for listening.
Everyone.
We'll see you next time. Bye.
Bye.
This message comes from Jackson. Taxes aren't something you can only think about once a year. With investments, planning for tax day is year-round. Fortunately, Jackson offers tax-efficient products. Visit jackson.com for more information on how our products can make your tax bill a little bit less painful. Jackson is short for Jackson Financial Incorporated, Jackson National Life Insurance Company, Lansing, Michigan, and Jackson National Life Insurance Company of New York, Purchase, New York.
Howdy, howdy, ho, and welcome to Fantasy Fan Fellas. I'm Hayden, producer of the Fantasy Fangirls podcast and your resident lover of all things Sanderson.
And I'm Steven, your bookish internet goofball, but you can call me the Smash Daddy.
And we are currently deep diving Brandon Sanderson's fantasy epic, Mistborn. But here's the catch. Steven here has not read Mistborn before.
That's right, hey. So each week, you'll get my unfiltered, raw reactions to every single chapter.
And along the way, we'll do character deep dives, magic explainers, and Steven will even try to guess what's next. Spoiler alert, he'll be wrong.
Newsflash, I'm never wrong. Episodes come out every Wednesday, and you can find Fantasy Fan Fellas wherever you get your podcasts.
Hi, this is Hannah Burner from Giggly Squad. Have you ever put on a bra that makes you feel like a goddess? Prepare to be obsessed with the Dream Angels Wicked Bra from Victoria's Secret, the iconic brand behind the world's most comfortable bras. And I only wear the most comfortable bras. The bestseller features an innovative sling for perfect lift without padding, and the fit is chef's kiss. Awaken your inner goddess with new colors and super femme lace embroidery. Find out why this bra has thousands of 5-star reviews and counting. Shop it in stores and online at victoriassecret.com.